Today's song is Inside Out by Eve 6. This one is in standard tuning, so if you have a tuner, if you tune your guitar right up to the tuner, you should be in tune with the song. If you were to play, say, an E chord, it should sound like this. So if you're in tune with me, you're going to be in tune with the recording. Before we go over it with the music, I'm going to go over the chords with you really quick here. So let's zoom in on my left hand, get a close look at things here, so that you can play the chords effectively as we do it. And you can see my right hand just a little bit here to see the strums. It's all down strums, so there's not so much to do with the right hand in this part of the lesson. But anyway, let's go over the chords. The first chord of the song is an A suspended second chord, where it's going to look like this. Your first finger is going to be on the second fret of the fourth string, and your second finger on the second fret of the third string. And we're going to strum 5 strings. We're not strumming the lowest string here. So there's our A suspended second. The next chord in the song is an E, which you may be familiar with. It's going to be first finger, first fret, third string, second and third fingers working together on the second fret of fifth string and second fret of fourth strings, like so. Third chord is a B, power chord of sorts. Third finger, kind of hyperextended here. You see how I do that? Across fourth string, third string, and second string, all on the fourth fret. And then first finger down here to the second fret of the fifth string, like that. And we're only going to strum the middle 4 strings for this chord. So we have and that's going to be our first 3 chords to the song. Next we're going to have these 2 again. And then we're going to move to an F sharp chord, which is the second fret with your first finger across all of the strings. Third fret, second finger, third string, and then pinky and third again working together on fifth string and fourth strings, both on the fourth fret. So there's our F sharp. And by the way, if you need to look these chords up or see a diagram of them, the internet is full of them, and there are also chord and tab sheets downloadable that go with the lesson. From there we're going to go A suspended second again. I'm sorry, we go E, then to B suspended 4, which is going to be a new one for you. This one is just a power chord shape, movable chord shape with the open 2 strings here, second and first strings added in. So we have first finger, second fret, fifth string, third finger, fourth fret, fourth string, and pinky fourth fret, third string with open second and open first, strumming from the fifth string down. So we have then back to F sharp, and then we're going to do that sequence one more time. So our whole sequence for the intro is going to look like this. We're going to have A suspended 4, E, B, A suspended second, E, F sharp. Then we have E, B suspended 4, F sharp, E, B suspended 4, F sharp. So what I'm going to do, here it is chord by chord along with the music. Let's dig in now and get the party started and learn this thing. It all starts on the 17th fret, and we're going to use our second finger up here on the 6th string, and we're going to slide into our first power chord, which is on the 7th fret of the 6th string root. So we're going to have first finger on 7th fret of 6th string and third finger on 9th fret of the 5th string. and we're going to strum only those two strings. Now this is a movable chord shape. Notice how I can just move the whole shape here and get different sounds. And that's how we're going to produce the first verse. So we start on this chord, we hit it twice, move the whole shape down to the 2nd fret. In this case, our first finger would be on the 2nd fret of the 6th string, and our 3rd finger would be on the 4th fret of the 5th string, like so. So we have 7th, 2nd, then we're going to move it to 5th, and then 3rd. And we're going to do that a couple times. Once. Now the second time it's going to change a little bit. It's going to go 7, 2, and the E chord we learned earlier during the verse. And what we're going to do is we're going to give that one down strum, mute it. I use both my heel of my hand here and my pinky here to make sure I get a good clean mute. So we want a chord, silence, and then we have after that, which is down, up, down. So when we put all that together, we end up with this. Easy, right? Okay, now you might have noticed I put a couple little mutes in there. Before the strum of each consecutive chord. And the way you do that is you, as you're moving your hand along the strings, you lift them up slightly so that they are off the strings. However, you're still making contact with them. So you're not fretting the note, but you're not off the note either. You're just kind of touching the strings. And then you use an upstroke here to produce that muted note. And so on and so forth. So that's how that verse riff goes. Now at the end of the verse, he goes to the G chord, and then into the chorus. So here's how we do that G chord. You're going to use your 2nd finger on the 3rd fret of the 6th string, your 1st finger on the 2nd fret of the 5th string, and then the open 4th and 3rd strings, and then 3rd finger and pinky work together here on the 3rd fret of the 2nd string and 1st strings consecutively. And your chord should look like that and sound like that. Just like that. So when we put the whole thing together, we end up with this. Again, that's. And then from there, you throw in a couple more of these to build it, which is just the lower 3 notes of the G chord. So when we put the whole sequence together, we're going to have this 7th, 2nd, 5th, 3rd, 7th, 2nd, E. 7th, 2nd, 5th, 3rd, 2nd, 2nd, E. And then the last time around, 5th, 3rd, 7th, 2, 3, G. Like so. And that's how the verse goes. So now that you've seen me do it slowly, note by note, you may want to rewind the video to the beginning and take another look at me playing it along with the tune and see how the whole thing fits together. But I think we've done a pretty good job of it. I think I've covered it pretty slowly for you, so I think you've got the hang of it by now. Let's move along now and check out the chorus. Okay, this is the chorus to Inside Out by Eve 6. There's actually 2 guitars in the chorus. We're going to work on the one that's the main guitar first. The whole thing starts ending on the G chord that we just learned at the end of the verse. Next we have an A. This is the beginning of the chorus. An A chord strummed twice, like that. Then we go to our E, emphasizing only the lower three strings, the 6th, 5th, and 4th strings. 2 of those. Then to our B. So we have A, E, B. Now, when we hit the B, we're going to eventually move to the A, but the move is going to look like something like this. And what I did there slowly is down, 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 up, lift my first finger off the 5th string, expose the open 5th string, and strum the 5th, 4th, and 3rd strings together like this. So we have just like that. Now, in the context of the larger thing, it looks like this. I would swallow my pride, I would choke on the right. Do-do. I would swallow my doubt, inside out. Which we haven't gone over that part yet, but we're going to right now. So after we get this part out of the way, we go back to A for 2, E, and then we go, which is a quick E, to our F sharp, hitting only the lower 3 strings. So we have A, just like that. And from there we're going to go E. I want to put my tender heart in the window, watch it spin around to a beautiful rendezvous. And that sequence there was 2 E's. I want to put my tender, 2 B's, heart in the blender, 2 F sharps, watch it spin around, another 2 through a beautiful E, strum loosely for those, rendezvous, 4 B's, open E fret here, then to F sharp. So that last bit. So one more time, I'll kind of mumble the words as we go through the second half of the chorus here. We have, I want to put my tender heart in the blender, watch it spin around to a beautiful just like that. Now, the reason I'm pointing out all these little individual strums is the natural tendency for you people to play it is just 1, 2, 1, 2. Which isn't the way they played it on the recording. So you want to be careful to get every little strum and every little pick in there just right. I've kind of seen a few videos out there of people teaching it at different guitar sites, and they're teaching it wrong. So do it my way, because I hit every single note perfectly, and it's not just the same 2 notes, 2 strums over and over. You actually have to dig in a little deeper and get every note perfect. So here we go. I'll play it through one more time for you, without the music, with all the strums put in the right place, and mumbling the words so that you can maybe see how the whole thing fits together. It's going to go like this. I just follow my pride, and choke on the ride, to back there up, inside. I just follow my doubt, inside. I find nothing at faith but nothing. Bender, heart in the blender, watch it spin around from a beautiful like that. So if you can pull that off and you can sing a little better than I can, I guess you're headed in the right direction. Let's take a look at the second guitar in the chorus. Okay, this is the second guitar in the chorus. You can kind of hear it in the background. It definitely isn't that high in the mix, but what it does is it drives the song along a little more. And it's mostly muted notes and notes that are played staccato. Barely played, I should say, because it's more of a rhythmic part than it is a melodic part. And what happens is he takes the same chord structure it plays it muted, but not that consistently. What we're going to do is mix it up and start on a different chord. Same name of the chord, A chord, and we're going to play it up here as a 5th fret power chord. And here's the articulation for this thing. We're going to maintain a consistent down-up picking here with our right hand and mix in some completely muted notes and some somewhat, just a little bit fretted notes like this. Now, in parts of the chorus where the other guitar articulates it, this one articulates it as well. For example, where he says, turn it inside out. This one will articulate the chords. Find nothing in faith but nothing. And then we're going to go back to. Something like that. So basically what we're doing here is chugging along with the second rhythm to the first guitars, and it's mixed very low in the background. So there we go, the second guitar in the chorus. Let's move along now and take a look at the second verse. Okay, I'm going to go over the second verse separately from the first verse because we have a couple things that are a little bit different. We have more mutes in there, and we also have one different chord rhythm and one different chord entirely. So let's go over that now. I'm going to quickly explain some of the techniques first before we go over it with the music, and then we'll hit the music in just a little bit. But basically the muted technique that we saw both in the first verse and also the chorus, second guitar, is going to be used, but more prevalently here. We're going to have 2 chord notes and then 4 muted notes, like so. So we're going to have down, 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 up, chord, chord. And after that one, we're going to have just 2 mutes, like so. One, two, three, four, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. So that's the idea behind the mutes in the second verse. Now, in addition, we have another guitar rhythm that comes out. It's going to look like this, as opposed to the straight up down downstroke on the 3rd fret during the second half of the verse. He's going to go like this. So we're going to replace with that rhythm there. And I'll play that along with the music so you can see what part of the song that happens in. And lastly, we're going to have a 3rd chord that's going to sound like this. It's a real sour sounding chord. It sounds almost like a mistake. Who knows, it might be. But anyway, it's in there. And that's coming out of the verse to our G chord at the end of the verse, which we could also think about as a bridge chord to the chorus. So it's going to look like this. And then to the G chord. So this is how sour it sounds. We're going to go. Just like that. So it doesn't sound too bad in between those 2 chords, but on its own, boy oh boy, that one's something else. Okay, so there it is, our second verse. Let's move along to the second chorus, which is a little different than the first chorus. Okay, this is the second chorus to the song. And I'm going to keep this one really short and sweet. The chords and the articulation are almost exactly the same as the first chorus, except we're going to have 3 notes instead of 2 in the strum of each chord. So during the first chorus we had this, something like that. In the second chorus, it's going to go. Like so. So we have three. Ba ba ba, ba ba ba, ba ba ba, and so on. So there it is. The second chorus, as I said, it was just a little bit of a twist in the rhythm, and you heard the second guitar in the background. That second guitar is the same guitar that we heard in the first chorus. Let's move along now and check out the bridge. Okay, you may have noticed a fill coming out of the chorus back into the verse on both the first chorus and second choruses. It's kind of laid back in the mix. You can't hear it that well, but it sounds like this. It goes like this. I'll play it along with the music once for you so you can pick it out and see what I'm talking about, and then I'll show it to you note by note. Comes right now. Right there. We'll do it one more time for you so you can catch it. Here it comes. Easy, right? It sure is. What it is going to be your second finger, 4th fret, 4th string. Then you can bounce your second finger over here to 4th fret, 3rd string. Have 1st finger prepared on 3rd fret. Take it off, 3, 4, 3, 4, 3. We do that a few times. 1, 2, 3 times. And there's that little fill between the chorus and verse. Awesome, huh? Let's move along. Okay, this is the last chorus to Inside Out by Eve 6. This one features some individually picked notes, sustained and played repetitively. So what I'm going to do is, I kind of went into the end a little bit there, but we'll cover that in the next segment. What we're going to do is we start with our 3rd and pinky on the 4th fret of the 4th string and 3rd strings, respectively, like this. And this is going to be our repeated figure. We're going to go 4th string, 3rd string, 4th string. And then we're just going to change the bass note under it. And the bass notes I'm playing here, I start on the 2nd fret of the 5th string, do my repeated figure, then open 6th string, repeated figure, open 5th string, repeat, then back to open 6th. So we have 2nd fret, open 6th, open 5th, open 6th, 2nd fret, open 6th, open 5th, open 6th. Now there's also some sustained chords in here. In the background, the B chord we learned earlier, E, then A, and then back to E. So we've got those 4 chords. In the background. And there's our sequence for the last chorus. Let's go ahead and learn the end now. Okay, this is the end of Inside Out by Eve 6. What we're going to do here is learn the chords. To the break of the end of the song. And those chords are going to be B, strummed 4 times, to E, strummed 4 times, to A, strummed 4 times, back to E. So we have 4 of each, and in between the end of each sequence we have a mute. Something like that. So it's going to look like this. And we do that for a number of times, and then we land on F sharp eventually. Play that twice, and then we're going to have E. This is where he says, rendezvous, then I'm through with you. And that sequence was E, B, E, F sharp, F sharp. And that's going to be the end of it. E, B, E, F sharp twice. So that's how that thing pans out. Let's go along now and put all the parts together.